This could be a game we play totally backwards and don't play any minions.
Hey, buddy, watch this.
So I would say that's one weak point potentially.
Making me want to craft Valiner.
Yeah, Valenier is pretty fun in this deck. I don't even know that Ferrokai Battle Axe is that good because it's not universal or guaranteed. It really seems like the Death Axe and the Glowstone are the key hand buff cards. I guess sometimes though you just need that redundancy to make sure you get there. But I sort of dig this list, man. I sort of dig the Chillblade champion. And it's like taunt is definitely a problem, but it's not that big of a problem, usually, because of equality. Man. I feel like if we gave this idea to a good deck builder, they're going to go transform it into something very cool. I don't know. Like, not, I mean, we're a good... I'm an okay deck builder from, like, a, you know, idea standpoint, but there are people out there who are very good at refining decks. A deck refiner might be able to turn this into something very cool. Ugh, terrible, terrible hand here. As soon as we get a Chillblade, this hand is beautiful. It's opened up a ton, but this looks like Mechathune, Druid, which I guess they don't usually have a lot of taunts, but they do have a lot of health typically. Gaining armor though instead of card draw, that's sort of weird. Typically, I guess he didn't want to overdraw off this Acolyte that particular turn, which certainly makes sense. So, I can see that instance why you'd do that, but normally you would just, I would probably hold that normally. Although I guess you have to use it at some point. What do you think of Shadowverse? I have played it just a little bit, like for 5 minutes just to see what it was like. It seems good. I mean, a lot of people like it. It's definitely one of the more popular card games out there. I think it's been very successful. Man, as soon as we get a Chillblade, guys, we are flying. But again, he does have a ridiculous amount of health right now. So that's a challenge. That is going to be a challenge. We got to soften that up a little bit, I think. I mean, it's possible for me to get there. It's just going to take forever. Take forever. It's got a coin here to clear the board, really? Oh, just pounce to clear the board. Okay. Interesting. Hit that Chillblade so I can play a Glowstone Tack. Come on, Chillblade. Man. Kind of getting to the point where I almost have to play this anyway just to get a minion on board to start softening up his health, because otherwise we're not going to win in time. But I also need like every buff on... I need like every buff possible. This could be a game we play totally backwards and don't play any minions and then just let Fatigue kill him. Because I do have an equality that can kill his Mechathune. Like, he has so many spells that have to target minions that he may not be able to do it. He has Wraths, Spellstones, Bark Skins. Like, there is a chance if I don't play enough stuff that he might just run out of things, and then I just equality consecration twice for the win. But I'm a little hesitant to shift into that game plan already. I think that might be something we need to line up once we kind of piece together what cards he has or doesn't have access to. Because there is that scenario too where he just plants an Auctioneer and attacks me for 4 every turn and I still lose. So it's not like it's a guarantee even if you go that path. Timeout doesn't help versus Mechathune, you still just die. Immune only prevents you from taking damage, not from like universal effects like that. So it won't make a difference. But if we can, you know, force him to kill off his own minions and run out of Wrath targets and stuff, there are paths towards victory. But I really need to draw Chillblade soon. So there's one of the said Wraths, like I talked about. So see, I kind of already gave him 2 ways to draw, to play things that he otherwise wouldn't be able to play. So that might have been a mistake, right? He can always naturalize this. So he has another Wrath, a naturalize, presumably a Bark Skin and an Earthen Scales, 2 Spellstones. He has 6 spells he needs to play on minions. I if I had a Chillblade champion, I think I'd be going for the buffs, but I don't. So I think I'm actually just gonna pass. He has a Wild Pyro, an Acolyte, and another Gadget Zan. So he has 3 more minions to play. Can he kill them all? Oh, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it too early to shift into this game plan? I feel like I have to. I don't know if I have a choice. But I also don't really like taking so much damage. And I do sort of need to kill this as well as another challenge. But I can't equality yet. I have to save one of the equalities for the Mechathune. Shift now is fine. Alright. I don't know, guys. I don't know, man. I think he's gonna have it. Like, there's the natural. So he already knows. Like, he's like, oh, okay, we're doing this. He's like, alright, screw you, man. We're doing this, huh? Alright. I can still play weapons.
Is Ashmore too slow for this deck or just simply not necessary?
Probably just not necessary, Pyro. Also probably a little slow, to be honest. I'd say a little bit of both, man. I'd say a little bit of both. So I can play these to preserve cards a little bit. So for anybody who doesn't understand what's going on and what we're trying to do, I've already determined we're going to be too slow to win this traditionally via Chillblade champion. And what that means is my opponent's a Mechathune Warlock, or Warlock Druid. His whole goal is to play Mechathune with an empty hand minus an Innervate and a Naturalize, and then he wants to kill off his own Mechathune with Innervate Naturalize. But sometimes you can get the Druid stuck in a position where they have either a minion that they can't kill on board because they can't trade it in, and then their Mechathune backfires, or they get stuck with a card like Wrath or Spellstone in their hand because they have to cast it on a minion. And if I don't ever play a minion, then there's a chance they just never get to play Wrath. Like, they never get to play their Wrath or their Spellstone or their Bark Skin, and they can't empty their hand for Mechathune. So then they're just waiting basically forever, and they die to fatigue while we just take 1 damage per turn from their hero power. And we live for 22 turns or whatever. And clearly they die to fatigue by the time 22 turns arrives. So he has an Auctioneer and a Wild Pyro left. He has 2 Spellstones, so I think he should be able to get there. Unless I can kill... I have to kill these minions this turn to prevent him from Spellstoning them. Then he's out of minions and he still has 2 Spellstones. He shouldn't be able to play the Spellstones right now outside of a Biology Project or an Innervate. So if he Biology Projects and double Spellstones, we might be in trouble. Although he may have an Earthen Scales in that scenario that he can't clear. That might give me the Earthen Scales. But I still have to be able to kill these or he will be able to Spellstone them. But then I also have to be able to kill the Mechathune as well without dying. So I kind of actually need... That's going to be a Spellstone, I bet. But then he still has the other... No, that's the Earthen Scales. Okay. So he still has 2 Spellstones. So if I clear these with Consecration, he still has Spellstones that he can't cast. He would still have Spellstones that he can't cast. And I'm never going to play a minion, so he won't be able to cast these Spellstones. I think. Assuming he runs Spellstone, which everybody does, he should not have Spellstone. If he's a Hakar deck, maybe we're in trouble, right? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I think his hand is Mechathune, Innervate, Naturalize, double Spellstone. Which means we should be fine. Which means he kills me in 14 turns or something, but maybe a little less than that with fatigue, but he should die to fatigue. Or he'll commit the Mechathune early once he realizes what is happening, and then we'll just equality clear the Mechathune, and we should be fine. But hopefully he dies to fatigue before I do. Like, if he wants to try to race, like, 14's not the most in the world. So there's that, and then this is how we win. And now we can play whatever we want. Like,